Who comes first in a blended family? The parents, the kids, or the dog? If all else fails, prioritize the animal. They always love you back. Unless it's a moody cat, then you might have to sleep with one eye open. I'm Alicia Decker, co-founder of Mended and married to a great therapist. While that's awesome, don't get me wrong, there are still family, life, and relationship challenges we all face. No one is immune, even us. So when it comes to blending a family, who comes first? My answer? It depends. Let me explain. It depends on the priorities of both the parents that are in the partnership. If the focus of both of the parents is on the highest and best good of the children, then it is the partner relationship that comes first. Because ultimately, if the partnership cup, so to speak, is full, both parents are better equipped to meet the needs of the children, both individually and together. The parental unit becomes a safe foundation for the children to thrive, grow, and find their way in the world. If the focus of both of the parents is not on the highest and best good of the children, if one or both of the parents lacks the maturity to prioritize a child more than themselves or is stuck in their own mental health challenges, such as borderline personality, narcissism, addiction, or something else, then it is the children that need to come first. Children need to be protected, provided for, and taught. This is our responsibility to our children, at least until they are adults.
Hey, not having chips!
Yeah, I don't think she's getting on board with the plan, honey.
If both parents cannot be a safe place to meet the children's needs, or at least allow the biological parent to meet their child's needs if it is a more challenging blended family dynamic, then the children need to come first. It is worthwhile to mention this is true for nuclear families also. Children need a safe, loving environment to learn and grow. It is our responsibility as a parent to provide that to the best of our ability.
Whose toys are these?
They're yours to share.
Yeah.
Let go!
To share a personal experience with this, I remarried for the second time when my oldest son from my first marriage was 2 years old. It became apparent that my husband was threatened by my toddler son and even told me he was jealous of him. How an adult can feel threatened by a child is not something I can personally relate to, but sometimes a person's maturity is not correlated to their age. Ultimately, it became apparent it was not an environment my son could be safe, loved, and accepted. The number one reason that marriage ended was because of that. While we talked about the dynamics of being a blended family prior to getting married, it obviously was not enough. I do believe part of my second husband's challenges with my son, besides his own immaturity and biases, is he had his own wounds from childhood needs that were not met. He had experienced adverse childhood experiences, and watching a child grow up with the love and acceptance he did not have was triggering for him. I say that to acknowledge the challenges we each have in being triggered by our own childhood wounds. And I am not without empathy for my second husband, but my responsibility is and was to my child in providing a home where he feels safe, loved, and respected. Not to a spouse who is willing to sacrifice my child's well-being because of his own pain. As it is with so many relationship dynamics, it is not a matter of a person being good or bad or a perspective being right or wrong. We can acknowledge the circumstances or abuse that created an unhealthy behavior without sacrificing our children or our own well-being. I say all of that while also acknowledging that so often we are trying to raise our children, trying to give them more than what we had emotionally, while working through our own challenges and triggers, often from childhood. How do you give something to your child that you never had? How do you model behavior such as love and acceptance while inspiring them to grow through challenging life experiences? What do you do when you don't know how to do that because you never experienced it? First, by showing up each day and trying. Secondly, by acknowledging upsetting or triggering circumstances and owning that response instead of trying to project responsibility onto a spouse, a child, or the circumstances.
No, we're not giving her chips.
This can feel very vulnerable and scary. It also takes a decent amount of maturity to take accountability for ourselves first, instead of blaming something outside of ourselves. After personally acknowledging what is triggering or upsetting for you, vocalize that with your children and or your partner, as long as your partner is a safe place. Vulnerably express what is going on for you, why it is hard, and ask for their solutions. Tell them that you are trying to meet their needs, but also your own needs. Express what you think their needs are, and ask them if you are missing anything or not understanding something about their perspective. Express what your needs are and ask for solutions. We all have a tendency to be self-involved, and children are wired to be self-centered biologically. From infancy, their world has to revolve around them and their ability to express their need to be fed, changed, burped, cleaned, cuddled, put to sleep. As they grow from babyhood to adulthood, part of that maturity is hopefully that they learn to express their own physical, emotional, and mental needs in a healthy way, while being aware of others' needs. And lastly, recognizing a meaningful life is based on meaningful relationships. While a child is not responsible for meeting our needs, it is perfectly healthy to express that as adults, we have needs and to ask for their help so that they can be part of a solution and contribute to a healthy, happy family. Someday, hopefully, they will grow up to be the parent in their own family, and your example will greatly prepare them for that role. It is important to recognize that everyone has different personalities, which lead to different needs. Whether you're into Myers-Briggs, the color types, or any other number of different personality programs, they each are similar in that there are 4 basic types, and you typically have a dominant personality type and a secondary personality type. These different personality types all value different things, and therefore all have different needs. We actually have a relationship course based on 4 personalities, where we teach how to recognize your own needs and the needs of those you love. If you would be interested in us doing a YouTube video on personality types, comment below and let us know. The key to healthy relationships, especially in a blended family, is in respecting and addressing those needs, even if they are intrinsically different. It's challenging, but it can be done. It's also important to differentiate between wants and needs. If we prioritize meeting one family member's wants over another's needs, there is a huge imbalance that leads to disharmony. If you need more support in your blended family, check out the video, Being Part of a Successful Step Family. Will you do me a favor? If this video has been helpful for you, will you share it with those you know and love that are experiencing these same challenges? Also, subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss any Mended Light goodness. Remember to keep shining. We need your light.